Hello everyone, my name is Salamah, and today I'm going to review a truly remarkable movie called Interstellar. Have any of you seen this movie before? If you have, you probably know how emotionally powerful and mind-challenging it is. And if you haven't, don't worry, I'm here to tell you why it's worth watching. So a little bit of background. Interstellar was released in 2013. It was directed by Christopher Nolan, who also produced it with Emma Thomas and Linda Obst. The story was written by Nolan and his brother Jonathan Nolan. This movie is a mix of science fiction, drama, and adventure. And yes, it's pretty long, almost 3 hours, running up 2 hours and 40 minutes. But trust me, every minute is packed with something amazing. At first, Interstellar might feel like a typical science fiction movie. Science fiction is often stereotyped as a cold, logic-driven genre, and some of you have even felt a little bored while watching it. I've read several comments saying that people actually fell asleep during this movie, and honestly, I did too. However, curiosity made me watch it again, and I realized that Interstellar is the kind of movie that needs to be watched two or even three times to be fully understood. Directed by Christopher Nolan, this movie follows a group of astronauts who travel into space in search of a new home for humanity as Earth becomes increasingly uninhabitable. With its long duration, heavy dialogue, and strong visual and musical elements, Nolan's storytelling style has received mixed reactions, from admiration to criticism because of its complexity. In this presentation, I will review Interstellar by focusing on four main aspects: its themes and plot, the portrayal of characters and emotions, the use of visual and musical elements, and finally, the strengths and weakness of its storytelling style. First, let's start with the themes. What makes Interstellar really stand out is how it connects big scientific ideas with something deeply human. Behind all the complex physics and theories, Nolan is really telling a story about a father as an astronaut trying to return home to his daughter. If you watch this movie, you know the scene on Miller's planet where time works completely differently. On that planet, just 1 hour equals 7 years back on Earth. 7 years. Yeah. So what feels like a short walk for Cooper and the team becomes decades for everyone back home.
Very graceful.
No, but very efficient. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Go, 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 go! 7 years per hour here. Let's make it count.
And that's what makes this idea so powerful in the movie. Time isn't just a scientific concept, it becomes emotional, something that affects relationships and memories. So that's why the key element in this movie is time. Next, let's talk about the characters. The most important character is Cooper, which is the main character, played by Matthew McConaughey. He's a dad who's torn between saving humanity and keeping his promise to go back home to his daughter. His relationship with Murph is really touching. It shows that love can be the strongest motivation, even in the farthest corners of space. And it's not just Cooper. Dr. Brand even says that love is something we can feel, even if science can't fully explain it. Paying attention to these emotions keeps us connected to the story, even when the science part gets complicated. Moving on to the technical side, Interstellar features cinema's most accurate depiction of the universe, from the gargantua black hole to the eerie silence of empty space. The visuals are stunning and feel incredibly real. But of course, the atmosphere wouldn't be complete without Hans Zimmer's music. And here is something interesting. Instead of using the usual futuristic sci fi sounds, Zimmer goes for a pipe organ. It makes the music feel both majestic and almost spiritual, like it's giving life to the emptiness of space. When you put these visuals and music together, you really get a sense of how tiny humans are compared to the vast universe. Doesn't it make you feel both amazed and a little overwhelmed? Of course, every movie has its strengths and weakness. For Interstellar, the biggest strength is its ambition. Nolan managed to combine a blockbuster movie with really high level science. Pretty impressive, right? But it's not all perfect. Some of the scientific dialect can feel really heavy, what people call dense exposition. And sometimes it can slow down the story. And let's be honest, that movie is almost 3 hours long, and with that loud, intense music, it can be a bit exhausting for some of us. Even so, these weaknesses are kind of part of Nolan's style. They actually make the movie more challenging in a good way for viewers who enjoy deep, thought provoking stories. So, to wrap up, Interstellar is really a rare masterpiece where science and emotions come together perfectly. It shows us that science fiction doesn't have to feel cold or distant. What Nolan really shows is that humanity's greatest discovery isn't something out at the edge of the universe, it's the power of human relationships, the connections that can go beyond space and time. In the end, this movie reminds us that even in the vast darkness of the universe, it's our humanity that shines the brightest. So, if you haven't watched it yet, maybe it's time to give it a try. Thank you all for listening.